Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 196 of the High Sensitivity Podcast, and thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news as well as we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, along with my fellow.
Make it good. Make it
Daddy
good.
or dad. I
Well,
don't
what do they call themselves? Avalanche, my fellow Avalanche members.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right, getting
I
ready for
like
the
it.
game. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Craig, and my mom and dad sometimes watch this podcast.
My name is also Craig. My parents don't watch it at all, but shout out to Barry's mom for following us on TikTok.
Let's
Whoop, whoop.
go.
Thanks, Mom.
She's so proud of you.
Yeah, I bet she is.
Ooh,
But what I'm proud of
Hercules.
this week is the news. The news is
All right.
what we should be proud of this week.
Okay.
Because there's some news to talk about. We actually
All right.
have
That's
some
fair.
stuff. So let's see here. Nintendo Direct. We got a Partners Direct. Wasn't anything too crazy, but some of the highlights include the Star Wars Battlefront collection.
Mhm.
Very cool. We'll be getting that. We see another Crab's Treasure, a very hyped indie game, coming to the Switch. Unicorn Overlord, which just looks like every other game I've ever played. Looks like a Barry game. There's a demo out. I did not play it.
Oh boy.
Endless Ocean Luminos, which was a Wii remake. It's apparently a very relaxing game. I got those vibes while watching the trailer. And Epic Mickey Rebrushed. We are getting an epic
Yeah.
redo of the Epic Mickey game, which I'm very happy about. But
Mhm.
any other announcements or anything you guys want to go into detail with?
Is it just me, or was the rebrush maybe one of the most exciting things about it? If that, because
I think so.
It was rebrushed in the Battlefront for me. Like that was
Yeah.
for sure.
Battlefront, yeah.
But that's well, go ahead.
I was gonna say Endless Ocean. I don't know. I was watching that, wondering, and I don't know if this is like the gamer in me, but it's just like, is it just exploring the ocean? Because I was like, but what's the task? And I was looking at it more, and I was like, there doesn't seem like one. Like who's the enemy? But then who's the final boss? Is the final boss like boredom? Like I'm not making fun of the game, but I was actually looking at it like, oh my god, is this actually just a game where you just explore the ocean with friends? And that's what it looks like to me. It's just ocean friends, just hang out and just kind of, I guess experience your underwater fantasy, if we are allowed to say that. So
It's one of those things that's a little strange just because the game I don't know who it's for, but I could see it like a mother and daughter sort of deal where, or father and father son, you're showing the kids this is what the ocean, here's what's inside the ocean kind of
mm,
deal. I don't know. It may be a learning experience type of game, but
maybe.
yeah, but other than that, on the heels of that, we also have a Pokemon Presents coming out the 27th with a lot of huge rumors coming around.
Huge.
This is kind of a bigger year for Pokemon. We are coming up on the 20th anniversary of the second gen games, personally my favorites. We also are coming up on the fact that this year we didn't get new Pokemon games, we just got DLC. So what have they at least been cooking up, quote unquote? Probably crap. But if it's second gen, I'm gonna play it anyway. That's for dang sure. So keep that in mind. We have some other smaller type stuff on my end. We have Riot's League of Legends fighter is called 2XKO. Looks like a cool fighting game. Looks like a pretty game. Most fighting games are. I didn't really see too much else about it. We do have Rebirth reviews coming in. Have you guys seen the Rebirth reviews?
Ooh,
Yeah.
93 on Metacritic, baby.
Some interesting takes too. Some people are kind of on the fence about it.
So one of the things, and maybe this is something as a Kingdom Hearts veteran I have familiarity with, a lot of people are saying, that the storyline is a little confusing. Which, if you know Tetsuya Nomura, that's his gig.
Yep.
So I hope it doesn't ruin what is a classic. You guys regard the first game as a classic, so I just hope that Tetsuya doesn't we won't know until we play it, but I just really hope he doesn't make it too confusing to the point where it's like I really, you know, I don't really want to have to do this and then go at the end of it. You guys tell me you guys got to play the original or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Which
Well,
by
you
that,
should anyway.
yeah, just by that point, I'll probably be in my mid 30s. We'll be on the PS6.
Yep.
It'll be
Yeah.
rather not waste my time if that's what it is. Following PlayStation news, we have a PS VR2 is testing for PC support, as it should. It
Mhm.
should work for a PC as well. Makes a lot more sense. Borderlands movie trailer. You guys have any
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I
Craig.
think we both feel the same. It looks. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm gonna go see it in theaters. Honestly, um, most of the casting is okay. I'm just still not buying Kevin Hart as Roland. I'm not.
Mhm.
Like, it's just such an opposite of like what you would think. I mean, a lot of it is though. Like, a lot of them are older than you would want them to be, but there was a lot in the trailer that I enjoyed, and I was like, okay, that looks good. I think Jack Black as Claptrap is a good idea. I think there was enough Easter eggs in that trailer that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot, but I really don't have high hopes for it at all.
Yeah, why are we seeing half of the cast of the most recent Jumanji just in this film? Like, it's
Yep.
just I don't know. I don't
Yep.
know. I'm with you. As a big enjoyer of Kevin Hart, I know we both are,
Mhm.
Craig, but it doesn't feel. And I'm not the hugest Borderlands fan either. But it didn't. I don't know if it feels like correct having him in there, unless they're asking him to do a different style
Right.
of acting. Even though Kevin Hart does revert back to Kevin Hart's like mannerisms that a lot of people know and love.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll go see it in theaters, but I'll definitely check it out when it's available streaming, but
That's fair.
It has a very Guardians of the Galaxy feel to it,
It
at
does.
least in my
mm,
eyes, and that's what a lot of the comments are saying. We then have Lady Gaga going to be hosting in the Fortnite event, and
Yeah.
it's apparently, some celebrities have also caught on with Fortnite, wanting to see it. I think it'll be cool, so I'm
Yeah.
all for it. And recently, Pokemon Concierge, one of my favorite little small Pokemon projects from Netflix, is getting more episodes, so I'm happy about that. I just figured
That's
I'd
good.
share. There is bigger news, but instead of me doing all the talking, I'll let you guys go into some of the news. And if we miss this big news, we'll come back to it.
okay.
Okay.
There's no way we
Uh,
missed this.
I only have two, so maybe I
Okay.
missed it. And then I have questions for you guys again. But the first one, we got Phil Spencer confirming that Call of Duty is coming to Game Pass. So that is out there for everybody. I think we all knew that, but
Yeah.
it's nice that he's confirming that. And then the other one is Switch 2 reveal planned for June 24th. Um, Obviously not coming out until I think next year is what they're speculating at this point. Um, what do we think on the design though? I'm seeing multiple. I'm seeing a folding screen. I'm seeing a detachable screen. All different types of stuff. Have you guys seen anything?
I haven't, but I'll take
I
whatever. I'll
haven't.
be honest. Like it doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm gonna buy it because
Yeah.
Same.
I'm a shill.
Same. Those are only two I had. Maybe Craig's got the big one.
The big one this is a big one for me as the person who enjoyed it the most out of the three, but Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree
Yeah.
DLC announced, baby.
Kung
Let's
Fu.
go. So I have thoughts.
Hmm.
They're all positive.
Of course.
It looks freaking fantastic. It looks like they took whatever toddler that they warped their mind and thought up all of those weird looking creatures from the original game. They went back to that toddler and I'm joking. It's not clearly not a toddler. But I think I was trying to go with some like Sid's toys from freaking Toy Story Fantasy, but it looks fantastic. Um, like basically knew everything, new story. And it's supposed to specifically focus on Michaela and whole new map that I think if I read correctly was in the shadow of the Erd Tree. If I could be funny. But it looks fantastic. I watched the trailer maybe 2 or 3 times, and uh what looks like new bosses, they look great. There's a bunch of different um versions coming out. So, like for myself who has the game already, I'm probably not going to get the collector's edition because essentially the game is digital. When you purchase a physical copy, it will have the code to be able to download the expansion. But I don't know, Barry. What did you think? I don't want to hog the
Well, no,
Elden
like
Ring stuff.
I'm excited. Like I'm excited for it. Like my main thing is I never finished Elden Ring, so I
Same.
don't know if you need to finish Elden Ring in order to access this DLC or get to a certain point, which I have a feeling I know which point that is. Uh, but I think it's cool. More of this game is a good thing because it was very popular and this has been talked about for a while. So to give the fans what they want from Software's doing a good thing doing that. Uh,
Yeah,
I think you're right. Like the enemy design seemed to be more creepier
yeah,
this time around, and I'm okay with that.
yeah.
But just yeah, it's exciting for a lot of Elden Ring fans. I can't wait to see the compilations of people raging about boss fights that seem unfair. It's just funny with all the mods that they put into Elden Ring on like PC, for example. How does that carry over to the like DLC? Like, is the DLC going to do some sort
Yeah,
of
that's a good
anti-mod
question.
thing for a little bit before they open up mods? Because like people could straight up have like anime fights in a way in Elden Ring
Yeah.
with all of those mods. And with that being said, it can really be disheartening for like an early game member if you meet one of those players, unfortunately, online. So keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, it's June 21st is when it's a nice date too. I like that. June 21st is when it comes out. Um and for everybody, because there are still those of us who are looking for Bloodborne to make its way onto recent gen consoles. It's a good way like for anybody who is maybe replaying Elden Ring, because like yours truly for that weird week that I was doing that, just to try to get a taste of it again. It's quite exciting. So it looks like a lot of gameplay, like a lot of new gameplay. So super excited, can't wait for that. I just got to decide what extent that I want it, because there's like a deluxe edition and all that. But you get it's. I'm not going to spend too much money on it, but yeah,
It's what, $40 for the base? Is that
yeah. I
right?
think it's 40 for base, and then I think
Okay.
they have a collector's edition at $249.99. Then the deluxe edition. Sorry, the base is, yeah, premium is 50. They also have one that has the base game and the expansion. There's like a bunch of different things. So be careful when you're looking at exactly, especially if you're purchasing it for someone. Make sure you know whether they have the base game or not as well.
Yeah.
But
Is that going to count at the end of the year for games of the year?
I think we have to. I think we could possibly, but what we need to do is first see like what it adds. Like, is it a
Yeah.
big enough expansion?
Right.
You mentioned new
Did
maps.
we add Cyberpunk this past year? We
No,
did, didn't? No, we
we
didn't.
we
Okay.
didn't.
we didn't
Okay.
add for anything.
Okay. I was just curious. I just popped in my head. I was like, "Oh man, are we going to be debating this in December?"
Mhm.
If you guys need somebody to try it out to see how much it adds to
It's
the
going to be
game,
you.
I will raise
You
my
Yeah,
hand.
it's
we
gonna
we
be. Yeah,
haven't finished it over here, and I don't think I will. So,
we have to. We have to worry about Death Stranding playthrough
Mhm.
starting after Rebirth. So
Yep. Yep.
keep that in mind as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right.
All right. So I don't think I had anything else. That was my big one
Okay.
because yeah, I'm good.
All
Okay.
right then.
You guys ready for your questions?
Yes.
Okay. Here's what we're doing. I'm going to ask you each individually again. This
Okay.
time, I'm going to give you 10 gaming franchises. All right. Franchises, not actual, like, if I say it's not the first game, but the entire franchise. I want you to rank them without knowing what's coming next. But you
Okay.
can't change it once it's been ranked. So
All right.
1 through 10, and then we go to the next one. So keep that in mind, right?
Yep.
Barry, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Are you ready? Your first franchise, Uncharted, 1 through 10. Where would you put it?
4.
He's going 4. Next one, Call of Duty.
3.
Wow. Okay. You're giving out some big ones already. Next one, Kingdom Hearts.
Okay. Yeah. I know what I have to do here. 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. God of War.
Ooh.
Do I have 5 open? Yeah, I've got
You
5
do.
open.
You want 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have 3, 4, 5, and 7 right now. Next one, Mario.
Wow.
That's a 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, we can put that at like 9.
Okay. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9. Here we go. Next one, the Sonic franchise.
6.
Oh, okay. Next one, Fallout.
10.
Okay. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 8 and 1 left.
Yep.
And
Easy.
you don't know what's coming.
Yep.
Okay. It could be bad. You don't know.
I'm not worried about
Assassin's Creed.
it. Yeah. No, 8. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
All right. So this one coming up is your number 1 regardless.
Yep.
Guitar Hero.
Yep. Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
It worked out for you. Okay.
It
You lucked out. I can't believe you put Kingdom Hearts at 7.
I-
Wow.
I
thought you would've put
recognize
that at
its
1.
flaws. I recognize its flaws.
Okay. Craig, you ready?
I don't know.
All right. Here we go. First one, BioShock.
Can't
5.
think about it too long. There you go.
5.
There we go.
Okay.
That's it.
Next one, Resident Evil.
7.
Wow. Okay. Mass Effect.
6.
Okay. Metal Gear.
1.
He gave up the 1
Use this
spot.
1.
All right, so you got 1, 5, 6, and 7.
Yes, I do.
Zelda.
Ooh, 3.
3. All right. GTA.
Did I use 4?
No.
4.
All right, so we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Halo.
10.
Okay.
Halo Xbox fanboys are coming after Craig
Yeah,
after
they
this
are.
one.
Okay. Crash Bandicoot.
Ooh. 8.
Okay. Tomb Raider.
Oh, that's
Now,
I'm
keep
fine.
in mind, you haven't used 2 and 9,
I'm using 9 on Tomb Raider.
which means this is your number 2. Your last one was Diablo.
All right, I'm fine.
Okay, yeah, I think we ended up. I think we ended up not too
Okay.
bad there. I will say my 1. I was waiting for him to say Legend of Zelda, so I'm glad he gave
okay.
it to you. So I was like, you know what? 1 Legend of Zelda, but 1 Guitar Hero, completely fine with.
It's a bold move not picking your 1 and leaving it up to fate.
Yeah,
I
that
will
was
give you that.
as soon as I said 1, I started sweating.
That was nice. You guys you handled it well.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Now
Metal
we have to do
Gear
that.
and
We have to do
Guitar
that for
Hero.
you. We have to do
Okay.
that for you now. Next week,
All right.
Craig and I will each come up with 5 that we have not used
Okay.
in your list, and
All
we'll
right.
go from there.
We can do that. I like it.
Yes.
But that is our hashtag TikTok segment of the week.
Hashtag TikTok.
We're going to go ahead and get into games this week, which I know I played something else other than the Final Fantasy Rebirth demo with the exploration of Junon opening up. But I also have a tiny review of the Pulse Elite headset.
Oh, pick that up, huh?
Yes.
I'm still pushing my way through Infinite Wealth here, but I did play a whole bunch of Mario versus Donkey Kong on the Switch, and then also Return to Grace.
Okay. I'm also trudging through Infinite Wealth. I'm at the end of chapter 9.
Okay.
I feel like I could give a review, but I feel like there's some stuff that's going to go down, so maybe I'll just wait till I finish it. But I also played the Nevergrave demo. And I don't know, can I count Inscription, because I technically actually started Inscription as just like a cozy while I'm watching TV game.
Inscription's awesome.
Okay, cool.
You're playing it for the first time?
Yeah.
Okay. That game gets wild.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, and I did remember my second one. It's Helldivers
Okay.
too.
Oh, did you finally get in?
I actually got into the server, so I can actually play it.
Okay. There we go. We got a bunch of different ones this week.
So I'll start off with mine just because it's a demo.
Yep.
I
refuse to play it.
Yeah, and well, good on you for not
Yep.
playing it. I completely understand it.
That second half, to clarify.
Opens
I already
up-
played the first one.
Yeah, opens up a very, very small portion of the open world. I wouldn't even call it like the open world section, to be honest. It's that small that they open up, but allows you to ride on a chocobo. Gets you an idea of stuff you'll be doing like in the field, which is like hunting down rare animals and completing certain tasks with them. Opens up your party to Cloud, Aerith, Tifa, Barrett, and Red 13. All three of those, or all of them there. So what I will say is this is a very good warm up for me to get remember the controls for it. I have completed the entire demo. I completed all the optional battles. I beat Phoenix, which is the kind of the optional hardest battle you can do. I did everything that there is to do in the demo. Game looks spectacular, as expected, and I'm just excited for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth week here. I'm just excited to jump into it once I get it in my hands. Ready to go.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do that part because I felt like they told you that first section of the demo would carry over, but the second half doesn't, right?
I don't think it does. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
So I didn't want to if I have to play it twice, in my mindset, I was just like, I'll play it when it comes out. Like, I'm not even gonna, just like I didn't watch the last couple trailers. I don't need to see anything else, right?
No, you're good. Yeah.
No.
But it feels good.
Comes out this Thursday, so
yeah, it's good. I was just very happy. Like, I decided to take on like all the optional stuff. I am now prepared because there's like learning the synergy abilities and reminding myself, okay, that's right. Barrett can hit from far. Of putting down, and I'm pretty sure it's the first one too. Like Arcane Ward for Aerith powers up her attacks when she's in it. So it's like getting into that mindset of like, okay, I need to be switching characters, using their abilities, getting synergy points so I could do the synergy moves to do big damage, to get the limit break, to extend their stagger bar and do the maximum amount of damage.
Boom.
Yep. I am.
Did you write it all down on a whiteboard?
Yes. Yeah, I have it like 0.1. Cannot follow up with 0.3. Skip to step 5. Kind of deal there. So I have the manual and I'm locked and loaded for it. I am
love it.
It feels good when you're in the flow, Craig. Like absolutely feels good.
Good. Good.
Playing with beating Phoenix is like the hardest battle. It is. I got beaten by it quite a couple times, but I knew what I needed to do. Just sometimes the cards didn't play in my favor there. But just it's going to be fun. I'm very excited for combat.
Counting down the days.
Cannot wait.
Not long now, boys. Not
Which
long
one of us
now.
is going to get it late in the mail?
Me.
Oh,
it's going to be me. I know it is. I should have bought it digitally.
Do we all have it pre-ordered?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'm hoping that we get lucky.
Probably all from the same retailer.
Probably. It comes out. It's set to release on a Thursday. Maybe that helps with the shipping aspect. I don't know.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. If it's not here by Thursday night, I'm gonna riot.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to like get. I'm gonna have to like let you borrow mine, so that way,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
give it to me now.
so that way you don't like hunt down the UPS or FedEx truck and like find your package and take it out of
Well,
there.
it's gonna
Yeah.
take 2 hours to install anyway. It's not
It
like I'm
is.
gonna
Yeah,
get to play it Thursday night.
Here's the question: do either of you think that it is already? Do you predict it's going to be one of your top 3 games of the year, no matter what? Like without
I
even playing.
can. I can say top five.
Okay.
I don't I don't want to put a number on it just yet. My heart says yes, but I've been watching a lot of reviews, like the spoiler-free ones, and
Hmm.
even though it's getting like rated highly, everybody's mentioning like there's like a huge open world, there's so many side quests you can do, there's so many side things and mini games which are in the original to the where I kind of look at them like, am I going to be like a Witcher overwhelmed? I hope
Yeah,
not. But part of me is kind of like, I hope I like it. I don't see why I wouldn't, but I don't want to say like, yeah, this is a top 2 game for me already. I hope so.
I'm gonna play the safe bet. I'm gonna go with Barry. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
I think
top
it's
5.
gonna be in my top 5 no matter what. To be honest
I
with
hope
you.
so. Yeah,
I'm excited, but I'll let one of you guys take it away for.
Um, I could touch mine real quick because it's a
sure.
demo. So Nevergrave. Nevergrave is a very interesting. So it caught my eye because it's like it had like a witch, and it was a kind of like it's a Metrovania roguelike. So there's that difficulty aspect that's in it. And I have to honestly say, because I guess it's early access, so you can, give it a try and then go into early access. I think they'll polish some things about it, but it's a very nice demo for the game. You essentially start like most um games of that nature with like little to no information, and the combat is cool. You can obviously you have various enemies and stuff like that you can attack. Um, some of them look weird, some of them don't. But as a witch, you can also unpossess your body, so to speak, and you become like the witch's hat, and you can possess other creatures that you have killed or bodies that you see in order to fight other enemies. And you could also use the that aspect to jump too. Like I found out there was like a high ledge in this game that I couldn't get up, but the game clearly wanted me to go that way. And what you do is you actually jump and then you unpossess your body and you become the hat, and it actually propels you a little bit higher. Now
That's
the
like
cool
Odyssey platforming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I did like about it is when you reach a certain part in the game, they like direct you to this village. You have to rebuild build a village in this game. And I don't know the extent of what you have to do, like what you fully have to do, but there's things that I had to rebuild. Based off of stuff that I collected off of dead enemies. Some of them were like shrines that helped me get better abilities for the next run, but some of them were also like things that look like they will be buildings. So I'm interested to see how this game progresses. It's got a nice art style, a lot of purple, which is my thing, or my favorite color, I should say. And I recommend anybody trying it. It's on Steam. Again,
Hmm.
nice demo.
Sounds cool. I was just looking at some video. It's very smooth. Like the art style and the animation. I like it.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Um okay. Mario versus Donkey Kong. I think I'm the only one who's going to be playing that game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, what is a remake,
Yes. Yep.
remake?
Yep.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people reviewing it and saying that like it's good, but it's not worth the $60 price tag. I'm enjoying it. I'm almost done with it because it's like each level is 2 like screens, and they're puzzles. It's kind of like Captain Toad,
Hmm.
where it's just like, all right, I need to figure out how to get the key to this door, and then there's like the optional like collect the presents, and that gets you like a perfect on that level. And it's very, I enjoy that. It's like I jump in, I do each 2 screens, each level takes me like 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops, so you can clear out a world in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm on world I think 8, and I think usually that's the last one in Mario levels. Don't they usually go to 8?
It's 8 or
um
9.
8 or
yeah.
9.
But I think it's a great game. I don't know if it's $60 worth, but it's a Nintendo first party, so it's going to be $60 till the end of time. So if you want to play it, you're going to spend the
Yeah.
$60. But I'm enjoying what I'm playing. I think it's fun. It gives me a reason to turn my Switch on again, which it's been a minute since I've turned it on. And I'm having a ton of fun with it. So not a whole lot of complaints. It looks nice. It runs well. I no complaints for me.
Nice, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll knock out Inscription real quick just because it's
Yes,
older. I know we talked about Inscription on this platform, but in my opinion, it's that good of a game based off what I've been playing for it to just be brought up. What is this? A year, 2 years later, maybe
at
three?
least two, I think. Yeah.
Too.
Uh, two. So I don't know how you discover the idea to create a roguelike game that's a deck building game. And I know that's a small niche. I can't think of a game off the top of my head right now that has that combined aspect. So please help me if I forget something. But it's the vibe that you were talking about, Craig, because like I don't remember it word for word, but I do remember your general take on the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really good. So whatever thing that I'm playing against with the weird eyes that I think anybody who's seen the trailer has played. I haven't played long enough to discover what this thing is. But but the deck building, I don't know how you turn this game off.
Yep.
Like, I had to turn this game off to do this podcast, and I felt a little bit sad, even though I love you guys, you know? It's very addicting. So, the card building aspect where you essentially have a bunch of different animals, organisms, things like that, that you play and build your deck with, but then you sacrifice, like, the general deck building aspect. There's, squirrels, which you have what I, assume is an unlimited supply from what I've played, but you have to sacrifice either 1, 2, 3, or more animals in order to send out a more powerful animal or organism. I got to the bones section too, Craig. So like when they show you how to like same thing with bones, however many bones you have, you can summon certain things. But
Mm-hmm.
it's very cool. You have a limited 12 slot space, and your enemy can put 4 cards on their side. You can put 4 cards on yours, and then there's some movement of the cards that can happen. Kind of a neutral zone in the middle, but not. Um, and it's really, really good. And the fact that you go through like a predetermined linear map with a couple of things that you can or paths you can go to decide whether you want to hit like an item acquisition area or a area where you can make your cards stronger. That's a nice touch. What I like and what I hope the game does more as I proceed, because I only beat the first boss at this point, is I like that you get up from the table, like the the antagonist is what I'm gonna call them at this point, asks you to get up and get things, and then you just keep remembering what weird, dark room you're in while you're playing this card game. So, I know there was a lot of hype. I know it was what we would consider a cult classic. Can we call it the Donnie Darko of that year? Because it was, I think.
Probably. Yeah.
Yes. There's
Yeah.
a reason. There's a reason. I'm gonna keep playing it, especially as like kind of my I'm not playing infinite wealth game, or maybe taking a second for Persona 3. I don't need to be Persona 3 right now, and I have a plan on having that done by a certain time. So this is a real nice game to switch things up. I recommend it.
I'm
Yeah.
interested to see what your plan is.
2027 to have it done.
There you go. Yeah, keep playing Inscription for sure, because it goes places.
Yeah.
It definitely goes places. It's a deck builder for now. I think
I
that's probably the best
I
way to
I
put it.
love that. I love that.
Yeah. Uh, Return to Grace. I'll just knock that out. They dropped that on Game Pass. Very short game. You can get through it in a couple hours. Has a very cool like sci-fi feel. It's more of a I guess you would call it like they call them walking simulators, right? Because there's not really combat, but you're like figuring out puzzles and that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a different take. It was kind of like Inscription for you is like a nice break from trying to like bash your way through infinite wealth because I keep getting distracted and losing hours and hours in that game.
I know.
But yeah, Return to Grace is really, really fun. So I would recommend that if you have like 3 or 4 hours to put into that game. It's really not that long, and it's a good time. So check that one out for sure.
All right. So then we have a couple new things here. So I'll go over the hardware review of the PlayStation Pulse headset. Pretty much the only difference between this and the Pulse is this little extendo here. The controls are underneath this instead of on the ear cup. It's a little strange. Uh, but overall, what they're the big thing here with these is that they're supposed to be, sound better and things like that. Also, the PlayStation Link allows it to connect to my PlayStation and my phone at the same time, so I can take a call from my mom when she.
Yes.
Does the game audio keep playing when you get a call?
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
cool. Okay.
Okay.
It's meant to keep you also in what you're doing, but also being
Mhm.
able to hear what's going on. Just
Cool.
in general, this headset I'm pretty sure might still be sold out because it's getting quite good reviews everywhere. I do like it a lot. The sound quality is better. I do like the features. Um, they did the one thing that I am disappointed with is they did mention all this directional stuff I'm supposed to be hearing. I don't really see any difference of the directional stuff between this and between the regular headset, the Pulse. So keep that in mind if you're looking for it. Um, I know that very few games are optimized for this right now. So I played Spider-Man with it. I'll probably need to try it again on New Game Plus when that update comes in March. And I also know that this thing is supposed to be kind of audio tuned for Final Fantasy. So when that game comes out, I'm hoping I'll be more impressed with the sound direction and stuff like that. But other than that, it is a very good sounding headset. I do like the option to be connected to my phone, so I'm not
Yeah.
completely disconnected from the world like most gamers are when they put on a headset. So
True.
So just keep that in mind. But $150 for this is not a bad price. My Steel Series ones that I think are like 250 or 300 on Xbox, this is very similar quality.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's a fair price for a gaming headset.
That is.
Yeah. And then lastly, the hottest game of the year right now
For real.
is Helldivers 2. I finally got into it after not having to stare at the servers thing for hours and hours and hours. It definitely meets the hype. It is fun. It is hilarious. It is constantly engaging. I enjoy. I even today when I played it, I've still only faced the robots. People are saying that the robot people are easier than the insects. I'm not sure if that's true, but I'll get there. But just overall, the tone of the game it matches. It is definitely that Starship Troopers
Yes.
tone where your characters get on a turret and they start screaming at the top of their lungs for for the glory of Super Earth, dear liberty when they're diving and getting or yelling liberty when they're diving and getting shot at or attacked by other monsters. It's fun. The game really forces you to think differently than just what you usually do. There's plenty of objectives in each map. The main objective is that you have one main objective or a couple things to do, but then there are all the minor things around it that if you spend the time to get those, you will be rewarded for them. Now, the hook is that there's an extraction time limit on it. So you got to make sure you extract in time, or it's going to get it takes the difficulty up to a whole nother notch. That, most likely if you're by yourself, you're not going to survive. So you need to be thoughtful of what you're doing when you're alone or you have a small party. I was playing in 3-4s for most of what I was doing. It's just nice that people can just join you, and it's one of the few games where everybody's kind of nice and helpful. Uh, Loot is shared, so there's no reason to kill somebody who's collecting stuff. Everybody gets the same loot and shares it, and there's this point in the game where you kind of can decide to be a support person by giving your people ammo, or you can be the person that puts turrets to defend positions, or you can be the person that's calling in mini nukes and gatling airstrikes from the sky, and you all get this fairly quickly. It's not it, it it's not hard to get the things that you want to do to make the game fun for you. And the cosmetic stuff, you earn that very quickly too. There really is almost no need to buy the season pass or the premium citizenship if you don't want to. The game makes it very easy to get, and kudos to them. This team looks like they deserve it. To be honest, like this feels like the COVID Among Us in a way, where everyone
Yeah.
is playing this, and it is well worth it. It is fun. The tone is fun, and the the way you and your friends can go about spreading liberty across the galaxy is is quite patriotic.
Yep.
Oh, you getting choked up there?
Yeah, he's
No,
getting choked
sorry.
up.
That was a long talking for me. So that's
They got a
uh,
they have a petition. I think that's over 100,000 people who have signed to bring it to Xbox. They really want it over there because as of right now, it's either PC or PS5, right?
yeah,
For
PC or
Yeah,
Helldivers.
PS5
PS5.
Yep.
exactly.
And
Mm-hmm.
Y-
the game isn't didn't the game creator actually ask people who haven't purchased it yet not to purchase it until they can get the servers under
Yep.
Yep.
control as well?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good problem to have, and also a very nice response as well, by the
Yeah.
way. Like that's a big thing for for a game creator to say.
Yeah, that's why I haven't bought it. I was going to, then I was like, let me hold on until maybe after I'm done with Final Fantasy. Maybe that helps bring down the player count so I can actually start getting into games and then I'll pick it
You text me when you want to play, and I'm there, man.
up. All
I
right,
I
sounds
am
good.
I am there to play. It is a lot of fun, and I think you guys will enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll jump in that too because I saw it too, and Craig, I thought the same thing. I was
Yeah.
like, maybe I should wait a little bit, just a little bit so they can get that under control and then jump in and play.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems to be at a point now where it's good to get enough players into it, like very much so. And then it's just a matter of if the game continues to grow, now that they can get most of their players in, they can start working on maybe some of the bugs that people are having. Like my game unexpectedly crashed today. But that was after almost like 3 or 4 hours of playing. So
Okay.
it was a random thing that happened, and that kind of stuff happens. It is what it is.
Mhm.
Especially like with PC games and a game that's in a lot of ways getting play tested more than they ever thought it would it would get.
Yeah.
True.
So will it come to Xbox? We'll have to see. I feel like like if Sony are the type of people who won, they would make Xbox give up one of their franchises. Like, oh, you want this? You got to give us Halo or Gears of War or something like that, or they just aren't going to do it.
Yeah.
Um, Also, guys, how are we in February and we already have like two game darlings that have just exploded in popularity? We have Power World and then we have this.
Yeah.
Um,
Power
I
World's still going strong.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that, we're 2 months in and there's two things that literally have broken the internet multiple times over. Just
Yep.
two different games, two completely different games.
Yeah, and even if you're not interested in either of those, you have three, as of Thursday, you'll have three solid RPG style games that you could play. Final Fantasy, Infinite Wealth, and Persona 3 already that you could spend like 80 to 100 hours in probably all three of them.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's a strong start. We were only playing Harry Potter this time last year,
It's true.
and
Yeah, very
beat
true.
Hi-Fi Rush and played Harry Potter. That's really what we had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Too many games.
So movies and TV shows this week because there's too many games. We got to find times to watch TV show and movies.
You went and saw Madam Web again, didn't you?
You're hilarious. No, I did not. Um, I went to go see Demon Slayer: The Hasihira Training Arc, and This Is Me, the Jennifer Lopez autobiography. This was
Okay.
something my mom picked to watch, and I watched it, guys. I'll be completely honest here. This was
That's fair.
she wanted to watch it, so we watched it.
Okay.
Okay.
Also on the musical aspect of things, I watched the Mean Girls movie musical.
Okay.
And then we got season 3 of Sunderland Till I Die came out on Netflix, so I watched that.
Perfect. On my side, my wife and I were definitely going to be watching Mean Girls this week, but I ended up watching Miller's Girl with
Mhm.
Jenna Ortega and Martin Freeman.
Okay.
Where do we start? Should I start in the anime corner? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Get the Barry anime corner out.
Yeah. dust off
Is
the
it
dust in
comfy?
the
Is
anime
it comfy
core.
in that corner?
It's pretty comfy, but so I'll explain here.
Uh,
The Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc movie is the final episode, or I guess it could be the final episode or two final episodes of the Swordsmith District arc for Demon Slayer.
Sure.
So it's that leads into the first one or two episodes and some extra content of the Hashira Training Arc. So just keep that in mind. It is not a beginner friendly movie. You aren't watching this without seeing the rest of Demon Slayer or having an idea of what Demon Slayer is, I guess. So keep that in mind when you're going to see this. I was a little surprised by it. A lot of it's rehashed. A lot of it is what I already know. So it didn't really come as a surprise to me. The surprise was the extra content. You get to there are only two Hashira. We have not seen their abilities yet, which is Sanami and Obani. Oof, boy, people are gonna be lost when I start to
yeah,
Yeah, for
when I
sure.
talk about this.
Craig.
So
Yeah, for sure.
it's two of the Hashira that we really haven't seen. You get to see a little bit of extra content to see how powerful they are because we are getting into the final bits of Demon Slayer here, where we get the Hashira training arc, and then the biggest portion of it is going to be the Infinity Castle, which is going to be movies. So keep that in mind when you're watching this, that this is going to, we're leading into the final bits of what Demon Slayer is as an anime, and then we'll be getting into the movies. I think the movie's pretty all right. I don't think it's too crazy amongst anything. Um, I don't know. It's more Demon Slayer, which is really cool action, cool art, spectacularly animated fights. But other than that, there isn't much going on. To be honest, when the characters are talking or having their downtime, they're just kind of rehashing and reminding you of what characters are doing or what characters are, doing what or who's coming back, kind of deal. So, um, if you're watching Demon Slayer, you're probably already going to see this. To be honest, but if you haven't seen Demon Slayer, you're not going to see it.
Ah,
So just
okay,
it's one of those things.
it's
Uh,
one of them.
yeah, but that's the anime corner.
Speaking of anime corner, Barry,
Okay.
I was having a discussion last week that I thought I would bring here. And when we're referring to like the pillars of anime, right? We're talking about
Yeah.
like the big ones, right?
Yes.
I was told that if I were to pick one of the big ones to watch, it would be JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Do you agree?
JoJo's isn't even a big one. Like that's
You don't
not.
think it's a big one? I
So
consider that a pillar. You don't?
the pillar has always been the big three,
Okay.
which is like there's Dragon Ball Z,
Right.
there's Naruto, and
Yep.
One
Yeah.
Piece. Some people
Mhm.
consider Bleach in there.
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
I will say like JoJo's is a very very popular anime. I'm not sure if I
Sure.
would consider it a pillar,
Okay.
but you're asking if I suggest you should watch it.
No, I'm asking what if somebody was like, there's all the of the popular ones, which one would you recommend? Basically, out of those, like the ones that everybody's like, oh, these are like the standouts in anime. Because obviously I've already watched a decent portion of Demon Slayer, right? I'm not
Yeah,
fully
yeah.
caught up, but it was just a discussion that came up, and I thought it was interesting that that's the one that was suggested to me. I was like, you know what, that's a good question for you guys.
I feel like I've been told to watch One Piece the most out of
Okay,
anything.
One Piece, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
One Piece. Well, One Piece is so many hours and hours and hours. Like there's thousands of episodes.
Right.
Or I think they're into the thousands now. I guess I should say. Um, I don't know. It's kind of hard because you have to like. I try to go off of what people's likes are.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there are certain romance ones that I would tell people to go see. Romance ones. When it comes to action, there's those there. I would want to say like knowing you, Craig, the thing is JoJo's is nice because there's a lot of action
Mhm.
and not a lot of like talky bits. Whereas some of the ones I tend to like are like action, but there's also a lot of plot going on
Right.
for them. So that's where things
I
get a
mean,
little tricky.
I was born and raised watching Dragon Ball, so I know all about
Yes.
talking for ends upon ends of episodes because they sure did a lot of it.
Yeah, but you also got 7 episodes of fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a
with
lot of
one
that.
episode of powering up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watching
Yeah.
Goku do push-ups, yeah, and
Yep.
then
Mm-hmm.
But like if I guess in the part of me is like what to recommend to people.
Right.
Like Attack on Titan is very good. No
Mhm.
matter what people will say, and it's
Oh.
finished. And
Yeah.
it's finished, so you can see it from beginning to end. JoJo's you can't, that's not finished. There are more in season still coming, and that's still being worked on.
Right.
Attack on Titan is fantastic. By the
Yeah, it
way,
is.
it is
Yeah,
so
it
freaking
sure
good.
is. If you come to me next week, I'd have maybe a top 5 prepared of
Yeah.
like what
Well,
I think.
that defeats the purpose. It should be like if Attack on Titan is what jumps out at you, then that's probably what it is, right? If it's like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, Attack on Titan.
yeah, for you,
Right.
it is Attack on
Right.
Titan. A lot of people would like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That is a classic and a very popular one. Still holds up to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I still love Oshinoko, which I've told you guys about, but I don't think any of you have probably
Nope.
tried watching it yet. And I don't.
No, one of my favorites is Death Note. I know that's a popular
Yep.
one,
Death Note. Yep.
but that's nowhere close to a pillar though.
Right. That's fair. I was just trying to get immediate reactions because those are usually like the most honest,
Yeah,
where you
no,
don't
you're
think
right.
about it and you're just like, yeah, Attack on Titan. Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Dragon Ball.
No, you
Yeah,
can't.
but no, yeah, I would definitely say like Attack on Titan. Now that it's finished, completed, you'd get the time out of it if you started that.
Fair.
You got to
Okay.
catch up to Demon Slayer.
Yeah, it's true.
Where'd you leave off?
The first movie.
Mugen Train. You still
Yep.
got the whole Entertainment District arc.
Yep.
Man, you'd love that. Let me tell you, man. It is that's
Man, you would love that.
You would
That's fair.
you'd love it. Yeah, Entertainment District art is stronger than Swordsmith Village. So, like you get into that, you'll like it.
Okay. Fair.
Cool.
Would I like Jennifer Lopez?
That's a good segue.
Yes.
Yep.
This is an interesting movie, I'll say, where it's this weird autobiography of Jennifer Lopez's love life. Because to be fair, I didn't realize how tumultuous it was.
Oh yeah.
She's been married like 3 times, had 7
Jennifer?
boyfriends.
Yeah. Oh, the Puff Daddy portion alone, I would love to watch because I remember growing up during when she was like dating Puff Daddy. Sorry,
Mhm.
Barry.
It's okay. But this was all really to announce a new tour for her coming out saying "This Is Me." So it's like this movie is like promoting some of her new songs, but then also promoting a tour that she's doing. It's a really weird combination of everything. The movie's meant to be like musically wise, I think it's fine. Like J-Lo has some bops in there.
Sure.
She has some callbacks to smaller callbacks like Jenny from the Block,
There
things
you
like
go.
that. So I don't know. It was a weird movie. It kind of felt like a fever dream because most of the time I was on my phone trying to research who this is talking about. Like,
Talk about being
okay,
lost.
yeah. Well, and like she's apparently big into like what is it called, horoscopes or your sign for that matter. So there's people like Post Malone and Kiki Palmer in here, and they play the various signs. The one guy that's really good at science stuff as well. I don't know his name, and I'm not gonna remember it. I'll be honest. But it is again a fever dream of a movie. Again, I thought the musical bits were all right. Other than that, I really hope your musical was better.
Okay.
Nice
So
transition.
that was we're rolling right now. So Mean Girls for me, this is an interesting one because everybody else in my family, I'm talking about my wife and my daughter, they did not like it but I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining. I really like the original movie a lot. Like that's a
It's a
all-time
classic.
classic.
It's a
Yeah,
classic.
and I think they managed to retain a lot of it. But there's also a lot of songs, and I think like as far as like my wife and my daughter, they enjoy the original musical, like the Mean Girls musical, and I think there can be issues where like if you know like the Broadway version of Mean Girls and in your head you know how it sounds, and then when they come out with a movie they always change it a little bit, then you kind of judge it a little bit harshly. Whereas me, I don't really know, I didn't know the songs as well, so I was like, oh, some of these songs are actually pretty, like they got my head moving a little bit, and I'm like, okay. um I thought it was a solid watch. I enjoyed my time with it. There's I think the songs hit more than they miss. There's maybe like one or two that I was like, they're okay. And I think pretty much everybody who's cast in this movie fits pretty well. The general consensus that we all had in our house though when we were watching it was, and I'm sorry I don't know his name, but the guy who plays like the main interest that Katie is interested in uh, is not. Now this is going off of my wife and my daughter. They're like, why would they pick that guy? He's not attractive at all. Was like the main dig. Because like, why are all these girls fighting over this guy? He looks very average, Whereas in the original, it was like it's a minor gripe, but once you watch it, be like, yeah, I can see that. But I think everybody did a really fantastic job. I didn't need to see it in theaters, so I'm glad I waited. But I think Craig, I think you and your wife will enjoy it for
I
sure.
think so. I think so. I think we're in the class that you're in, which
Yeah.
is we didn't see the musical, so we're not going to have that. Because you're right. When you do watch a musical become a movie, the songs are changed,
Yep.
and you get less of the theater feel.
Hmm.
So that, like, I watched the original the Rent movie with somebody who saw Rent from like way back in the day, and they didn't like it as much. Same thing. So I
That's
think we'll
fair.
enjoy it because we love that movie. That's like top. That's got to be a top 5 comedic movies in the
Hmm.
2000s. Like,
Oh,
so
it's incredible. It's incredibly well
it's
done.
amazing. It's
Yep.
amazing. So
So yeah, I would say check it out. If you're at all interested in the original Mean Girls, I think it's worth a watch. And then we got a season 3 of Sunderland Till I Die. The series that single handedly got me to enjoy soccer/football again. Um, this one had to do with it's a very short season. I want to say it's like 6 or 7 episodes, but it had to do with them finally breaking that barrier and getting promoted, winning their league and getting promoted. So after watching 2 seasons of them just failing consistently, and you still like feel for the team. And I've been rooting for the team since the first season came out to finally see them break through, and then to go and be like, oh, that was cool, but then to know that like how they are now, they're not doing very well. So it's kind of like a mixed feeling, but like, oh, I'm so glad we got that like behind the scenes look of when they did get promoted, but now that they did get promoted, they're kind of like outclassed. Um, Still, I cannot recommend that show enough if you're at all interested in like the culture of football over in England and that kind of stuff. It's such a fascinating way of life. I don't even think there's any sport in America that comes close. I don't think our football comes close to the fandom that soccer has on the world. It's insane.
yeah,
Like you live and die by your team, your home
I'm
team.
I'm thinking
Well,
of
and like
like
for the I
oh,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, for the most part, just as someone who, and I'll announce myself the self-proclaimed soccer expert of the
Mm-hmm.
podcast. But like the main thing about it is, so many of these teams are in these small towns, of
Yep.
like of their England of England, and so you have to remember that a team like Sunderland, like they're pretty much like fandom is in their small town. Like the only
Yep.
thing I can really compare it to is like Penn State here and the football team, where there
Mhm.
is no NFL team, there is no, on either side. There is one on either side, but we don't have one to call our own.
Yep.
Mm,
Usually, a state has one to call their own, where in England, you almost have like, think of it in American terms, almost like a township. Like your town has their own soccer team.
Yep.
It would be like, it would be, you know, for example, the Belfont would have their own soccer team, and
Yeah.
State College would have their own soccer team. and
Yep.
that's the kind of fandom and building that they get to have with these on a national scale.
Yeah.
So
I think
it really is crazy.
I think when I was like, what I came to realize and why I thought it was so cool is like exactly what you said. So if our local town had a, let's say they had a football team, right? And we all rooted for that, our local football team, but that football team had the chance if they played well enough to compete in the NFL.
Yep.
Right? Like, and
Yeah.
it's such a cool idea that like if your team consistently wins and wins their division or their championship or their league, they can continuously get promoted until they're playing with the top teams, the Manchester Uniteds and that kind of stuff.
Liverpool,
And
yeah.
that's such a cool idea. I wish they did that in every sport.
Yeah, it's what makes that sport unique, and, like,
Hmm.
we've been watching a lot of media recently, like, on this podcast that has shown culture, Ted Lasso,
Hmm.
Wrexham,
Yeah.
like, all of those type of things, and it's very interesting just seeing that type of culture,
Yeah.
going on, but yeah.
Yes.
I
Super cool. Go check that out if you're at all interested. There's 3 seasons out there now.
Alright, I have, Miller's Girl,
Hmm.
um, Jenna Ortega, and I really like Martin Freeman as an
Yeah.
actor. I also like Jenna Ortega, but
Same.
so my wife and I were interested when we saw the trailer of this particular movie, not sure what the full movie was going to be about, but essentially the long and short of it is Jenna Ortega plays a girl in a Tennessean, I guess, Tennessean school, a school from in Tennessee. And Martin Freeman plays a teacher of that school, specifically an English teacher, and it is the attraction and what happens with the attraction between those two being fully dedicated to writing and the intelligence that comes with English and how they deal with it. So, without ruining much, she's a brilliant girl. Her name, she has a weird name in the movie. It's like it's Cairo Sweet is her name.
What?
Yeah, yeah. Jenna Ortega's name is Cairo Sweet. She is a gifted, going to be an amazing intellect type of person. You could tell that it's a very artsy type of film in that route. She speaks in not a Shakespearean way, but there's just too much intelligence coming out. She has a friend that also attends the class with her, and when they talk, like you're learning new words when they talk. But what's interesting is she arrives in the class. It's like that classic, if you've ever seen a movie where there's like that weird teacher student relationship. She arrives in the class early on the first day. They immediately start speaking about things, and you can kind of see where the movie's going. And it's an interesting one, guys. Like, I looked it up after. It's considered an erotic thriller. I did not know
Okay.
that going in. There is there is a specific crassness to this film as well. I'll just let you know. Um, One of the things that baffled us is the school itself and like what the students are able to get away with. So I recommend you guys knowing that before watching it with the particular person that you may be trying to watch it with. I wouldn't take my mom to this film. And I'm not saying that it's like full on out, just like blatant in your face, but like one of the first scenes you see one of the students try to like she drops her books in front of a teacher to get the teacher's attention and makes it her mission to like seduce the teacher. Like that's like a side thing that happens in the movie. What I will say is I was entertained by it somehow. I think it was the performances. It was the performances. Um Martin Freeman's wife is a established writer, whereas he is a student who teaches English and does not write anymore. So there was an interesting dynamic between those two. But what you're in there to see is Martin Short not be a responsible teacher and become attracted to a student based on her intellect and looks is what it ends up being. And it's pretty well done. So I recommend it if you're looking for something completely different. Watch the trailer beforehand. I think that'll give you a good idea of what to expect. But it's good. It's good.
I'm
Hmm.
gonna I'm gonna date myself here, but would you say it's kind of like almost like a Cruel Intentions?
Yeah,
Okay,
I was
that's what
thinking
you're.
about.
Kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of that. Okay. That's fair. That's a good movie too.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
Yeah, dating yourself because I got no idea what you're talking about.
Came out in 99, Barry.
It did. It did.
I was just a wee little 6-year-old by then.
He's a
Yes.
wee
Wee,
pup.
s-
He's
yeah,
a wee
wee
pup.
You were
6-year-old.
definitely too young for that movie at that time.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it.
But that's it for me.
Yeah, perfect. We're gonna go ahead and end the podcast there. I appreciate everybody for listening. I'm really excited for this gaming week. I really hope everybody gets everything they want out of the Pokemon Presents and also Final Fantasy Rebirth, as we will be diving deep into a spoiler cast at some point when all three of us finish.
I'll have it done by Sunday. Just kidding. No,
What
yeah.
would you guys be surprised if I had it done by Sunday? Like, you guys know, like,
I
what
wouldn't be surprised, but I might judge you a little bit.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
Yeah.
game to get through
Yeah.
in 3
Yeah.
days.
yeah. I absolutely agree. I just know I've put in a lot of hours into games before over a weekend. This requires not sleeping.
Yeah.
If I were to do that.
Yes,
So.
correct.
Stay tuned and find out if Barry finishes Rebirth on time.
Put your comments in down below who you think will have the most
Yeah.
hours when we come in on Sunday.
Right. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
There we
one.
go. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll have to look at that. But again, we appreciate everybody for listening. If you are on the podcast forum of things, please make sure to like, review, share it with a friend on your podcast listening platform of choice. And if you're on YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe. I like seeing all the support we're in there. We've crossed 50 subscribers.
Hey.
It's really cool. It's a
Yep.
small little accomplishment
Let's
for that
go.
for us, but 50 is nice.
Mhm.
And I appreciate everybody liking and taking the time to at least even watch a couple minutes of it, just because the editing in that, I always have to put a lot of time into it. So I appreciate it. And hopefully I'll appreciate you guys coming by next time. See you later.
See ya.
Bye, guys.